All right, let's talk about something that could totally flip the script on how you think about your health. We're going to dive into this common mental shortcut, this cost trap that a lot of us fall into. And it might actually be costing us way more in the long run. So picture this, right? You've got that new ache, or a pain that just won't quit, or some weird symptom that's hanging around. We've all been there. It's that nagging feeling where you just know you've got to do something about it. But be honest, what is the very first question that pops into your head? For a lot of us, before we even start thinking about what's actually wrong or who we should see, our brain just defaults to one major concern. Yeah, that one. How do I avoid spending money? Or what's the absolute cheapest way to deal with this? And look, that's a totally normal reaction, right? I mean, with healthcare costs being what they are, it's a completely understandable instinct. We're all wired to protect our wallets. But here's the big twist we're exploring today. The argument is that this very instinct, this first question, it's actually the wrong one. It's a trap, and it can send you down the completely wrong path right from the very beginning. Okay, so if that's the wrong question, then what's the right one? Well, the key is this really powerful shift in your mindset. It's about moving away from just avoiding cost and moving toward avoiding waste. Now, I know they sound kind of similar, but trust me, they are worlds apart. Think about it. Asking what's the cheapest care might lead you to an option that does absolutely nothing. So then you're right back at square one, having wasted both time and money. But if you ask, what is the least wasteful next step, now you're focused on value. You're focused on actually making progress. It's all about making your next move count. So the goal isn't just to find any answer. It's about finding the right first step. You want something that actually gives you some relief. And this part is huge. Doesn't send you off on some expensive detour, like an ineffective treatment or seeing the wrong specialist. All that stuff just burns through your resources and delays your real recovery. Now, I've got to be super clear here. This whole strategic thinking thing, it has its limits. There are absolutely times when trying to find the least wasteful step is just the wrong move. Why? Because the only correct step is to get medical help, like right now. Saving money is not smart when you're dealing with certain red flags. So, if you're experiencing any of the things we're about to talk about, the time for strategy is over. This is when you stop everything and get professional care. Do not delay. All right, here are the big 4 red flags you've got to watch out for. First, anything that suggests nerve involvement. We're talking numbness or shooting pains. Second, signs of an infection, like a fever with pain in one specific spot. Third, you think you might have broken something. And fourth, and this is a big one, any rapidly worsening loss of function. Like if you suddenly can't do something today that you could easily do yesterday, these are medical emergencies, not financial decisions. Okay, but what about non-emergencies? When there are no red flags, you might think waiting is no big deal. But just waiting around to save some money has its own steep hidden costs. See, doing nothing, it isn't a neutral choice. It can actively work against you. Yeah, there are 3 key costs when you delay. First, your story gets blurry. The details of when the problem started and how it felt, they get fuzzy, which makes a diagnosis way harder. Second, your referral path breaks. A timely note from your primary doctor is like a golden ticket to the right specialist. You wait too long, that path gets messy. And third, you might feel a little better on your own and think, hey, I'm cured. But it's just temporary relief. Then the problem comes roaring back and it's often worse than before. So let's bring it all home. The whole point here is to take this new framework, this new question, and make it your automatic, default way of thinking whenever you face a health decision. So remember, you're not looking for the bargain bin option. You're looking for the most efficient, most effective move you can make right now for your specific problem that gets you on the path to real recovery without wasting time, energy, or money. And that's really the question I want to leave you with. The next time you face a health crossroads, big or small, just pause and ask yourself this. Don't ask what's cheapest. Ask, what is my least wasteful next step? The answer you come up with might really surprise you. And you know what? It could make all the difference.